In this lesson, I want to show you a special technique called metric modulation. Now, metric means time, it means meter. It's how we measure music. And modulation means, well, essentially means to change modes. So traditionally, modulation means to change into a different key of the music. So metric modulation means we're counting the time differently. We're modulating the time of the music. So a good example is to simply speed up or slow down the meter of a tune. And that's what we're going to do in this lesson. So we're going to sort of look at it in a swing context, a 4/4 jazz sort of swing feel. And what we're going to do is use triplets to speed up and slow down our feel. So let me play a quick example of metric modulation in the swing feel, and then I'll show you exactly, I'll explain exactly what I've done. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so obviously I was speeding up the tempo at some points and slowing back down again, and I was just using two different tempos there. And it sounds like just a random change in time, but if you're listening closely, there is a special technique that you can use. So what we're doing is when we're speeding up the feel, we're using the crotchet triplet pulse as the new pulse. So it's obviously an eighth note triplet feel, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, in our 4/4 swing feel. So what we're doing, we're taking not the eighth note triplets, da-da-da-da-da-da, we're taking every second eighth note triplet, the crotchet triplets, da-da-da-da-da-da. So let me play just crotchet triplets on the snare drum. Okay, so 3 triplets for every 2 normal crotchets or quarter notes. So what we're doing is we're taking those crotchet triplets and they become the new pulse, they become the new crotchets. Now on the way back down, when we go from the faster feel back down to the slower feel, we're using the dotted crotchets and turning them back into the normal crotchets of the slower feel. So taking the dotted crotchets from the faster feel and they become crotchets in the regular feel. So that's the little marking on the score. You'll see crotchet triplets equals crotchet, and then going back down again, dotted crotchet equals crotchet, or quarter note again. So what you can do, you can really get creative with this and start using it. You can basically start really slow and then keep changing your feel faster and faster until you're basically at a tempo where you can't play it anymore. And then try using that same technique by turning the dotted crotchets back into normal crotchets to take the tempo back down again. So let's do that. Let's take it nice and slow. And of course, again, I will play the crotchet triplet or dotted crotchet part on the snare drum, basically to get myself into the feel of the next tempo. And then I ignore everything that I've played in the previous beat and then stick with that feel that I've built up on the snare drum. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you don't have to practice metric modulation strictly in a swing feel, but I think it's a really good example of metric modulation just because of the fact that a swing beat is quite simple to hold down, and the fact that we're in a triplet feel, so we can make use of the triplet subdivision itself to help set up our tempos. There is another way to do this, and that is a little bit more freely. We do the same thing on the way up. We use crotchet triplets to change our tempo to a higher tempo, and then we do the reverse. We use minim triplets or half note triplets to change back down to a lower tempo. Now, if you're pretty good with notes and dots and stuff like that, you'll know that you'll need a dotted crotchet to change back to the same lower tempo that you started with. But if you simply want to go down to a different slow tempo, you can also use minim triplets or half note triplets, and that will sound like this. I'll go up a few times, then down a few times for this example, so you can really hear how I set the next tempo up with the triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, have fun practicing your metric modulation. Practice hard. I'll see you in the next lesson.